Hey, welcome back everybody to Adventures in Digital Marketing podcast and live web show of sorts, I suppose. My name is Rob, I'm the host. I wanted to come in here and talk to you about some stuff that I've been learning. This morning though, I'm on the road and was debating whether I'd actually be able to go live today or not, because I've got a dentist appointment this morning and I am not excited about that. But that got me thinking about something that I think that is important, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. So anyway, here's the deal. I've been listening to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins when I go to the gym. And first off, if you don't know who he is or you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. It's freaking amazing. But Liz Benny posted that she was listening to it this morning. It kind of got my mind going about this idea of mental toughness. And one of the things about the book is at the end of each chapter, he's got a challenge. And one of the challenges that really stuck out with me was this idea of doing something that makes you uncomfortable every day. And that really kind of hit me hard, because when you're talking about being a creator, right? Whether you're a writer, you're a blogger, you're a podcaster, there's just tons and tons of creative energy that's spent. And we get into very easily this idea, I don't feel like doing this thing, right? I don't feel like writing. I don't feel like getting up and going to the gym. I don't feel like, doing this thing or eating right or whatever the case may be. These are all things, by the way, that are thoughts that run through my head as I share them. But one of the things that he talks about was the struggle that he had towards the end of his time in the Air Force, and how his life had really just kind of gotten out of control, and he had gained a ton of weight and was, really kind of going nowhere with his life. And he had every excuse in the world to not have motivation or, do anything with his life. If you hear his story, it will absolutely blow your mind, some of the things that he's been through. And So I wanted to talk a little bit about this chapter, though. So this idea is that he had this, really kind of brutal truth talk with himself, of course. The reflection in the mirror, he talks about how he went and just kind of had a, come to Jesus meeting with himself. And, he just decided that he was going to break free of all of this stuff. And, all of the things that were weighing him down, his past, the things that he had been through, all of the ways that, he had kind of failed, and the setbacks that he had faced, and all that kind of stuff. So, but one of the ways that he did this was by doing something that made him uncomfortable every day. So, and instead of shrinking back from it, what he actually did was, whenever he felt that that urge to be complacent or to sit still or to, just to give in to the feelings of, I don't feel like it, he used that as a motivator to force himself to get up and to go. So like in his instance, the big thing that he was doing was trying to lose weight and get in shape, because he wanted to join the Navy and go to SEAL training. And, so what he would do, though, is whenever he felt this urge to inertia or complacency or whatever you want to call it, he would actually engage that feeling, and he would ultimately use that as the impetus that got him out of the house. So if he was feeling like he didn't want to stretch, he would go stretch, and then he would go stretch for like 2 hours. Or if he was feeling like he didn't want to get on the bike to, spend the time burning calories, he would go, and not only would he force himself to go get on the bike, but he would go and do it like extra hard. And one of the things, though, that this built this idea of mental toughness in his mind, And it really challenged me because, my friends and I talk about this, from time to time, is that in the 21st century in the United States, we have everything that we could ever possibly conceive of wanting. I mean, it's really ridiculous how well we have our lives are, right? I mean, we have cars, we have internet and cell phones, and we can eat whenever we want, and we can eat whatever we want. And, there, just we got roofs over our heads, and, just the wealth that we have is beyond comprehension for many parts of the rest of the world, and certainly historically, the wealth that we enjoy would be envied by the kings of centuries gone by. And so what that produces, though, is softness, right? And it makes it very easy for us to not be engaged with the things that we need to be doing, or force ourselves into instances where we're uncomfortable. And like Steve Larson said on many occasions, actually, that the greatest self-development program that he has ever done is becoming an entrepreneur, because there's so much, what's the word I'm looking for? So much opportunity for growth as a person, and so much challenge that we face on a day-to-day basis when it comes to entrepreneurship, that it really challenges you for the kind of person that you are. And, Jim Rohn talked about this. Tony Robbins has talked about this. All of the gurus have talked about this. But, once you kind of get the rubber on the road, you start to understand that in order for you to get to do the things that you want to do, go the places that you want to go, and achieve the things that you want to achieve, the challenge to your personal character and who you are as a person is absolutely enormous. So the trick to this is, I'm learning and have learned and will continue to learn, is to continue to work on building mental toughness. And one of the great and small ways that you can do that is by doing something that makes you uncomfortable every single day. Like for me, one of the things is cold showers, right? In the summer here in Florida, it's really not that hard to do that. But it's uncomfortable. It gets me out of my comfort zone, and this whole idea of being in a comfort zone is, so overblown and so contrived. And, but the reality is that you actually have to get to that place where you are not comfortable. It's a lesson. I think I've talked to you guys about this before too. It's a lesson that I teach my daughter. One of the biggest things that I try to teach my daughter is the idea of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it's so important to do this, because then you get to be able to do things that other people aren't going to do, and aren't going to be willing to put in the time and effort to do those kinds of things. So that's my challenge for you, is to, if this is something that you're interested in, if it's something that is that would even make a difference in your life, is figure out something that makes you uncomfortable and do it. Whether it's taking cold showers, or forcing yourself to eat healthy instead of eat for pleasure, or or to force yourself to get out and walk. Whenever you get that feeling that something is rising up in you, that you don't feel like doing it, you want to engage that feeling and push into it and lean into it and make yourself go do it, and get comfortable with being uncomfortable and doing that thing. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. This is a challenge. Like I tell you guys a lot of times, this is stuff that I'm preaching to myself, and I'm just sharing with you as I go along my journey and do the things that I'm doing and all that kind of stuff, so that maybe perhaps there's something here that inspires you, or maybe you learn something, or we learn something from each other. But as always, the goal is for you guys to be able to get to know me more, and me to get to know you guys, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm getting ready to pull into the dentist here, so I got to wrap this up. But for those of you guys who have been with me live, I really appreciate that. For those that are watching on the replay, please hit me up with #replay. Give me your thoughts, your questions, your feedback. I want to hear what you're thinking. Have you read the book? I would love to know what you think about Goggins' book. It's freaking amazing. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for being with me. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye.